So I'm gonna explain how to connect pretty much everything. This is my new pedal board. There's a few changes since the last time I showed it on my other video. But pretty much, if you're starting to build your pedal board, I want to explain how I put everything together. So obviously first, get the pedals that you like, get the pedal board that you want based on size, price. I didn't want something too big, so I went with the Pedaltrain Novo24, which was perfect for the length of the PX8 and all the pedals that I need. There's always new pedals that I'm trying and stuff, but for now I'm very happy with what I have right now. So first you have to choose the pedals that you want, obviously. Get the pedal board, get the PX8 if that's the route that you want to go. If not, there's plenty of other pedal switchers out there. I chose the PX8 because it's not too big, it's not too long, and it was relatively cheap compared to other ones. I didn't need anything like super fancy, just needed control for the loops and control for the Midi, and that's exactly what the PX8 is doing for me. So once you have your pedal board and your pedals, just place everything where you want to be. I chose the bigger ones to be on top because of the connections that I have on those pedals, and the small ones were in the bottom. Strymon and the Eventide are the ones that are Midi capable. The rest are pretty much analog pedals. Once you have everything set up according to your necessities or likes, try the pedals first, try the connections, all the cable connectors and all the power connectors too. Just make sure that you have enough space for that after you put your pedals on, because usually you put the pedals too close together and forget about the connectors, especially prior to put any Velcro on your pedal board or pedals. After you have checked everything, check the loops and make sure that those are working as well. If you are very new to the pedal switcher, to give you like a brief summary of it, what it does is obviously chooses which pedals you want on or off in certain preset based on the loops that you have in that preset. You can have as many as 8 loops in one preset, or as less as 1 if you want it. I have put all my pedals in each loop. I don't have more than one pedal in one loop. I have 8 pedals in the 8 loops that the PX8 provides. 3 of them are Midi capable. Out of those 3, only the Mobius and the Eventide are using loops in the PX8. The timeline is only being controlled via Midi to choose which banks I want to use, since I'm sending that one directly to the amp effects loop. The Mobius and then in the Eventide are connected to the loop, so I can turn on and off those as I want depending on the preset that I have. However, I cannot turn on and off the timeline. I usually just go ahead and press the button to turn it on and off, but I have created the presets in my timeline accordingly. So if I don't need much delay in a song or a rhythm, I just have it very, very low in the mix. That way I don't have to be turning on and off. Something that I forgot to mention is that the PX8 also provides an insert kind of loop that goes directly into the pedal switcher, which you don't have the option to turn on and off, but in that case you can turn on and off directly on the pedal. Say if you want to have, I have a couple questions about this actually. If you have like a noise suppressor or a booster or any other pedal that you want to have it on all the time, or you want it to go directly on the mix, you can insert it there. So once you have your MIDI pedals ready, what you have to do is connect the MIDI out from the PX8 to the MIDI in of the first or the only MIDI pedal that you're going to do, and leave it there. If you have other pedals, you can connect them directly from the first pedal that you have your PX8 to. So it goes from the out of the PX8 to the in of the timeline, from the out of the timeline to the in of the Mobius, from the out of the Mobius to the in of the H9. You don't have to go back from the H9 out to the in. Alright, to program the PX8, I kind of found out how to do it just pretty much trying everything. The manual is gives you just enough information to know how to set it up, but not exactly how to do it. So I was reading some blogs and watching some videos on YouTube on how to send commands to the MIDI capable pedal from the PX8. So what you have to do first of all is set your PX8. So this is just from the manual, so you can read that in the PX8 Plus manual as well. You can select the channel in which you're going to send the messages to your MIDI pedals, and you have to enable the program command and control command in your PX8. To enable program command and control, you have to turn it off. Switch this off. Before you turn it on, keep the first button pressed and plug it in. Release, and button A will allow you to enable program command, and button B will allow you to enable control command. So once you have this both on, you just unplug it again and it's done. The next one is set the channel, the MIDI channel that you will be using in your PX8 Plus. So for that, you have it off, you keep the button B pressed, turn it on, plug it in. And for this one, you can choose up to 16 channels. The way you choose 1 to 16 is based on the configuration that you do. So if you have everything off is number 1, if you have A on is number 2, if you have A and B on is number 3, and so forth. Since I'm going to be using channel 1, you leave everything off. This is based on the manual. So just turn it off again, and that's done. Turn it back on, and now it's time to set your MIDI pedals to be controlled by the PX8. This I got from YouTube on how to make your pedals capable to receive the commands. So what you do is, this is the same for the two Strymons. You go to value, keep it hold until you get the global for a couple seconds, global settings, and then you look for MIDI channel. MIDI channel needs to be in channel 1, which is what we set up on the PX8 Plus. I'm sorry, you have to up to 16 channels here too. So you go to channel 1, press it back again. The next thing that you have to change is Midi TH. It has to be on. That will allow the PX8 to change the channels on the timeline. So when that's done, you get out of there and go back to your setting. Same thing for the Strymon, and same thing for the Eventide, which is a little different, but you just look for the MIDI channel. Once you have your pedals set up for MIDI commands, all you have to do now is arrange your presets on your pedals in order. So that's what I did. I'm not sure yet how to change the presets on the PX8 so that I can choose any bank on my Strymon or my Eventide. The only way that I found how to do this is putting all the presets that I want in order. In other words, my presets on my PX8 go from A to D. If I have my preset A on, will bring my bank 00 on my timeline, bank A. If I go to B, it will bring still bank 00, my preset B. So it goes in order. Same on my Strymon and my Eventide. If you can see, it's probably easier to see it on the Eventide because it has numbers in front of the preset. For preset A on my VoodooLabs, I wanted very short tape delay. So that's the delay that I saved on my bank A. I wanted for channel B something different, so I put D-Pocket preset on my timeline. I put a small flanger on the Mobius, and I have a 12-string electric string on my Eventide. That's pretty much the order that I have arranged on my Midi pedals and my PX8. Show you some sounds just for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna use my 57 Strat reissue.